It says Samuel Stavenhagen on the gravestone, but he was known as Stephen. Most of the time he was known as Solomon, and obviously when he died he became Samuel. But he was from a place called Mecklenburg in Germany, and he turns up in Dublin in 1845, and we all know what happened then. Why he left, it's difficult to say. There was a small Jewish community in the town of Stavenhagen. It sounds like there is a town called Stavenhagen in Mecklenburg, and it sounds like he adopted the name when he was leaving. It was quite a bit of a town, small community, but there was controversy before he left, and that controversy was in Mecklenburg. Somebody had decided that synagogues should have organs, and a lot of people opposed the idea of introducing organs and music, and a lot of congregations apparently split down the middle. So that may have been why he left, because he was quite old compared to most immigrants. He was in his 30s. And he arrives in Dublin, sets up as a snuff maker on Dame Street, starts selling cigars in the middle of the famine, but he's doing okay, you know. And then his younger brother Julius turns up. Now, Julius Stavenhagen is somebody on a mission. He wants to get places quick. And so he persuades him to move from a steady little shop on Dame Street to Grafton Street. And you don't need Manny Flynn here to tell you what it's like to run a business on Grafton Street. It's a disaster. It's a complete disaster, because not only do they have to contend with the cost of that, but Julius has this great idea. Why don't we get into high-end German hosiery? You and me, that's men's underwear and socks. Now, at that time, and particularly in the aftermath of the famine, men might like to look at stuff from Grant Thomas's, but nobody's going to see it, so you're buying it. So it's a complete disaster. And he's facing bankruptcy. Julius says bye-bye and heads over to Plymouth. And he's left totally. But there were two boys that he got to know who ran a place called the Parisian Bazaar on Nassau Street, and they said to him, look, you're not going to sell, you split the shop in half. Why don't you move out the underwear and we'll give you some toys? So he tries the toys and it carries him through. And he's living on Capel Street, number 15. And the shop becomes available, and so he gets the shop. Two lads help him out, and he opens the shop under where he lives. And then all he has to do is try and figure out how to get Grafton Street shoppers now, and he's in the clear. And so the shop's working out okay, and then he gets his break in 1853. And it comes courtesy of a man called Thomas Duff. Thomas Duff worked on William Dargan's railway. He gets fired, and he decides he's going to extract revenge by robbing the railway. And he teams up with a guy called Michael Connolly, and they decide they're not really sure how to go about robbing the railway, but they need a gang. So they go out and they start trying to recruit, and the way to recruit is they corner people in pubs, put a gun under their chin and say, we're forming a gang to rob the railway, are you in? And of course they go, yeah, and they're out the door. So they've no gang. So they then decide, right, you can't rob the railway. But the railway only goes as far as Dunleary, because they're rebuilding from Dunleary to Bray. And there's about £700 in wages going through from Dunleary to Bray every week. And this is what they want to rob. So Duff goes out and sees somebody he used to know when he worked for the railway. It's a fella called Coogan, a former policeman. He's now doing security at Bray Station. Right. Coogan tells him that your man, when he gets off of Dunleary, is met by a carriage. He loads the money in the carriage, they go out the Foxtrot Road, and he decides, right, that's what we're going to do. bit of old-fashioned robbery. But when they sit down to talk about how they're going to do it, they decide we need a disguise. And they go, where are we going to get a disguise? They go, well, masks would be good. Where do we get masks? Stavenhagen's. And so everyone heads up to Stavenhagen's to have a look at the masks. Now, you'd want to be a bit subtle if you're going to rob a lot of money. But the boys aren't. And they get the junior in the shop. They ask to see the masks. He shows them to them. They pick out a couple of masks. They say, how much are they? He says, £1 each. They go, we'll give you 6 months. The uncle is going, I can't. I'm not allowed. He's going, come on, we'll give you 6 months. And it goes through everybody working in the shop right up to Stavenhagen. He goes, lads, price is the price. Point is, everybody who works in the shop remembers these boys. Because it'd be hard to forget them. And the day of the robbery comes up, and when Duff goes around to pick up Connolly, not only is Connolly missing, the masks are missing as well. Because Connolly's kind of got sense, because he's found out that your man's saying, why don't we just kill him? And Connolly's going, I'm not killing anybody. So he goes out and he gets Coogan and says, look, we'll have to do it. And Coogan goes, I'm not doing it without the masks. And he's figured out that Duff is going to kill the guy with the money, but he's also now going to kill Connolly. And he's going, I'm in over my head. So he goes to the police. And he now becomes the state witness in the prosecution of Thomas Duff and Michael Connolly and himself for conspiracy to murder. But because it's a slow year on news, the trial is spread out over the summer. It's the biggest news story of the year and central to the whole trial, which means about half the news story is what this man and his 2 assistants said while they sold masks, because that's how they're going to prove conspiracy to commit murder. Dublin's down Cable Street in droves. He can't stop the shop quick enough. Right? And he has such a good year that he decides he doesn't really need to buy off the 2 brothers. And what he's going to do is he's going to go on his own Christmas shopping trip to pick up toys to stock the shop. And when he goes over to Germany and he's buying up all the toys that he reckons are going to give him a good Christmas, he sees something and he goes, I know, this is going to go in Dublin. And he starts stocking up. And what he's seeing is Christmas decorations. You're looking at the doobies there.
Just going to say an iPhone 6. Couldn't happen. Couldn't happen.
Basically, what happened, and the great thing is that he's selling all these expensive toys. Christmas decorations are a penny. And for the rest of his life, this is his thing. Christmas decorations are always a penny. And so that Christmas tradition of all the little balls, the sparkle, the lights, everything began with him 15 Christmases. He deserves a plaque. But that's where the Christmas tradition started. Was with this man here. He was Jewish, who lived on Cable Street in the central area, I believe.